Hi everyone. Now, this evening we're going to be talking about an unusual topic to some regarding driving. What we're actually going to talk about is your shoes. Now, if you like this video, please do click the like button, and you might subscribe to our channel too. We like to have people subscribe to our channel because we try and make these videos to help people along with their driving as we go along. Okay, so let's get to it. Now, shoes for driving. First of all, it is very advisable that you should always wear some sort of a shoe for driving. In Ireland, it's not acceptable to drive around in your bare feet. In the driving test, you have to wear a shoe that's actually in one way or other tied to your foot. So you must have at least some sort of a strap from the back of your ankle coming round to your instep, which is securing the shoe onto your foot. It's not safe to drive in bare feet, and neither is it safe to drive if you have a loose, kind of a flip-floppy, kind of a beach sandal on your foot for driving. If you drive a car and you use a different pair of shoes to what you're normally used to, it can be like driving a new car, because you might have higher heels on the new shoes than you might have had on the normal shoes you would normally use for driving. And I'm talking about men who might go between a flat shoe for driving and a kind of a boot for driving. I know myself, if I go from wearing a normal flat shoe for driving to a kind of a boot shoe, then it can take a little while to get the feel of the pedals in the car again as I drive along. Similarly for ladies, if you're the type that wears the stilettos for driving and you might change to a flat shoe or vice versa, then it can take a little while to get used to. Some people I know, they actually use a set pair of shoes for driving, in that they have a set pair of shoes kept in the car, maybe behind the driver's seat. So when they sit into the car, they quickly change that shoe for driving, and when they're getting out of the car again, change the shoe again to whatever shoe they want on for whatever event they're going to. I knew a lady once, folks, and she got called for her driving test, and unfortunately for her on the day, she decided to dress up a little bit for her state driving test, which is fair enough. Unfortunately though, she failed her driving test for one reason regarding to the shoes she had on the day. As I said, she dressed up a little bit for her state driving test, which is fair enough. But unfortunately, she decided to wear a shoe with a bit of a heel on it on the day of her driving test. Now, she'd never ever worn these shoes for driving before the day of the test. And during the driving test, unfortunately, the heel of the shoe got stuck in the mat on the floor of the car, while her foot was on the accelerator, coming up to a rather busy and fast roundabout. Now, fortunately for her on the day, she was doing her test in a dual-controlled driving school car, so fair enough, the tester on the day, he stopped the car for her with the dual controls on his side. Other than that, it could have been a lot more serious, folks. A lot more serious. So, folks, in her test, while she did not pass her test that day for that one particular incident, whereas she would have passed her test had that incident not happened. It was all down to the fact that she wore a different shoe to what she was normally used to for driving. So on the day of that driving test, she was given the boot. Pardon the pun, folks. And she passed her driving test the next day when she had her normal pair of shoes on. And this particular person was a fine driver, folks, but unfortunately things didn't work out for her for the very reason that she didn't wear her comfortable pair of shoes on the first day of her driving test. So folks, I hope you find that story interesting, and hopefully you got one or two tips on it about driving as regards whatever pair of shoes you might decide to wear on the day of your driving test. So until next time, folks, thanks very much for listening. And if you like the video, please do click the like button and subscribe to our channel. We like to help people along with little videos we make as we go along. Thanks very much, folks. Until next time, bye for now.